Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tech Frenzy. Absolutely not late. Don't try it. I'm here. All right. Don't want to see it. How's everybody doing? Okay. Things in the way here. Got to make sure everything. Oh, immediately. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thought I'd get there first, but no. Harry, MD, Lisa, Ivar, Wesam, Clipgrid, Joy Luna, Paul, how you guys doing? Tim, Dat Boy L. What's up, guys? Okay, let's talk some stock. I am so sorry to the SoFi community for tanking the stock today. I know. But we are up in the after hours. So let's talk about what the heck I did and why I'm so sorry. Okay. If we take a look over here at SoFi stock, we ended up seeing an 8.3% upside on the stock. However, maybe we could have seen more. I'm not a believer in these superstitions that are bringing SoFi stock down. But if you are, I mean, this one, it kind of hits the nail on the head. I ended up calling out that SoFi was up 9.6% intraday to $30.92.5, essentially 93 cents. I said, hey, sorry in advance for the screenshot. And then literally, it just started going down immediately. I don't know how this works. It's incredible. Algos must be. Now, it did run up a little bit higher. It wasn't the exact peak. Some people said it was the exact peak. It wasn't quite true. But I mean, we were right there. Like it was in this vicinity. I think I actually tweeted on this peak, and then it ended up peaking a little bit higher later on. Insane. Stop doing that. Guys, it's not real. Don't believe in it. Don't believe in it. We have to fight back on these superstitions. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, too, that no one wants me to say. Same thing with a Jim Cramer curse or anything like this. Jim Cramer does get picks right. No one ever highlights the fact whenever he does get something right and the stock goes up. Okay? The same thing with these screenshots. No one ever talks about it whenever someone posts a screenshot and then it doesn't change the narrative at all. It only gets highlighted whenever things go wrong. Okay? It makes the superstition worse. Next time, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, SoFi's doing well. I'm going to post a screenshot in 1 hour. Then we're going to see if it ends up, crashing before, or if right at the time that I post that screenshot 1 hour in advance, that is the peak of the day. I mean, I'm a data guy, We're here to do data. What should I do? Should I post on really bad days whenever it's sinking a lot? Every time it's down 5%, I post a screenshot, it turns around. I don't know. Can you explain why inverse Kramer index performs well? I don't know if it's still performing well. I don't know if that is still the case. What is it again? What is the inverse Kramer? I don't remember. I don't follow it. I know that whenever it launched, it was doing well. Inverse Kramer doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, that was a flash in the pan. I guess you need people to actually put money in it for it to work. But someone should track it on a stock base without actually being investable, just being straight an index, not some sort of fund. But yeah. Tanner, what's up? Okay, let's see. Where's Dookie? I'm selling all my Soundhound and buying Grab. Was it a good Grab day as well? So we have to talk some SoFi. We have to talk NVIDIA. We have to talk, all of these great names. Grab up 6% on the day. It also looks like it's working. A little introduction from Lincoln as he tries to climb my wall there, but abandons quickly. I got to let him out real quick. I can, yeah, that's the door right there that he's jumping on. Okay, go on. All right. Back to stocks. And we're going to try to focus on stocks this time without getting distracted. Let's get on with the news. Okay, so first up, I want to talk SoFi. Let's say. I mean, we do have some BM&R news that maybe I should start with as well. But actually, yes, I'm going to start with BM&R news just because it's Monday, and if you guys follow BM&R, you know Monday is a good day for us. We ended up seeing Tom Lee disclose that they have now reached 3.5 million ETH tokens and total holdings reaching 13.2 billion. Absolutely not the highest we've ever seen, but ETH has taken quite the hit. ETH currently, I hate that whenever I type in ETH, the top thing that pops up is the Grayscale Ethereum mini trust. And oh, I wish I could take it away because I always misclick it. 35.75 on Ethereum right now. So very, very low from where we've seen Ethereum previously. Now, here's something pretty interesting. Ethereum had reached some pretty unbelievable lows this week, nearly reaching, well, not nearly, it did reach under 3,200 US dollars per ETH token. Yet Tom Lee continues to build up their cash position, now reaching $400 million. In case this is a sustained long crypto winter, you do need to have some cash on hand in order to continue to buy those dips and then continue having the ability to take advantage of that volatility. If you're like the other DATs that play in the Ethereum space, some of them have gotten caught out or caught with their pants down with no cash on hand to end up buying the dips. And so their MNAV falls below 1, and then they kind of get caught. Bitmine now owns 2.9% of the total ETH supply, and very long, very well on its way to the 5% of supply in which they want to reach. Let's read also some comments from Tom Lee. The recent dip in ETH prices presented an attractive opportunity, and Bitmine increased its ETH purchases this week. We acquired 110,288 ETH tokens over the past week, 34% more ETH acquired compared to the week prior. Let's get this straight, okay? This is about half. It's about a 50% reduction in the average price if you were to look out at every single week that they've acquired. Most weeks, they've acquired roughly about 200,000 ETH. Only the last 2 weeks did they end up acquiring 77,000 ETH and then 85,000 ETH, or somewhere around there. Now, they ended up acquiring 110,000, which is higher than last week, but let's not get it twisted. It was about half of where we usually sit at the 200,000 mark, okay? This pushed us over 3.5 million, or 2.9% of the supply of ETH, and we are now more than halfway towards our initial pursuit of the alchemy of 5% of Ethereum. Additionally, Bitcoin increased their cash position to nearly 400 million, up from 390 million, which is quite interesting as well. This past week, Bitmine and the Ethereum Foundation hosted an event at the revered, geez, I cannot read, man. New York Stock Exchange building, hosting many financial institutions for a summit. To me, it is evident that Wall Street is very interested in tokenizing assets onto the blockchain, creating greater transparency and unlocking new value for issuers and investors. This is a key fundamental story and supports our view that Ethereum is a super cycle story over the next decade. You got to love a decade-long story. Obviously, people do want, to be purchasing into something that runs up over the next few weeks. But tokenization will be a multi-year story, potentially, hopefully multi-decade. Now, this does lead us into some of the other events that we've seen on crypto recently. One of them actually from Wrecked Fencer on X, which ended up pointing out this interesting little highlight. Google searches for crypto are dead. We are seeing a plummet, absolute plummet over the last little bit on crypto searches on Google. Now, Do I think that this means that there's an immediate turnaround? No. I think that whenever you see these types of search result declines, it's not an immediate V shape. You end up seeing these long periods where it hits this bottom, stays down there for a bit, and then pops up. So the fact that we have just recently hit this bottom, or potentially even going to dip lower going forward, doesn't highlight too much, or doesn't give you a lot of credibility that this is going to turn around immediately. But we are bottoming out in terms of people's interest in Ethereum, and could lead to some good pricing if you are looking to DCA into these types of products going forward. That leads me into SoFi really quickly, as we ended up seeing a highlight on crypto fee sheets. This was found by SoFi Insider, and it actually says effective as of November 10th. You can see here that crypto buying and selling fees will be 1% per transaction. Now, to put this into perspective, whenever you're talking about the average price that people are paying on the average price that people are paying on Coinbase can be as high as nearly 3%. Okay. Whenever you're talking about the amount of money that people are transacting on crypto, the average price that Coinbase pays on a consumer transaction is about 1.5%, which is, still higher than where SoFi is, but SoFi's price is way, way lower than what an average transaction would be for, let's say, $100 or $1,000 purchase of Bitcoin or Ethereum. Okay, so that is very interesting. That being said, whenever you compare it directly to Robinhood, this is that same philosophy that Robinhood or that SoFi does whenever going up against Robinhood on the trading side. They do not care to beat them. Their credit card is not as competitive on the fee side, unless you're talking about temporary benefits where you can get up to 3.3%. The crypto purchases, the margin rates are just slightly worse than Robinhood's. You see, the APYs being just slightly worse. All of these things that, essentially tell you that they want to be in the top 10% of best fees, best pricing for consumers, but not playing in this range of, hey, let's race to the bottom. Because if they end up pricing lower than Robinhood, Robinhood's just going to respond with pricing even lower. Honestly, I think Vlad doesn't care as much about pricing as much as he cares about market share gains. Okay. He is ready to take everyone else down with him. If it means a rush to the bottom, he's down to have that fight. I think SoFi and Anthony Noto understand that, and so they're not even trying. They're putting their pricing at 1%, and whenever you compare that to Robinhood, you see some of their pricing based on the spreads getting as high as 0.85%, but that's still lower than 1%. Now, I don't say this to be anti-SoFi, okay? If you are doing your purchases on Coinbase, it's advantageous for you to start doing those purchases on SoFi, unless you are starting, or unless you have Coinbase One and you're paying these monthly fees and you're getting free trading, okay? Which is also quite interesting. Whenever you look at Coinbase's total volume and then their total take rate, that take rate is inclusive of a lot of those purchases being zero trading volume or zero trade fees, but yet the revenue is not considered transaction-based revenue, it's considered subscription-based revenue. Similarly to, if you guys are Google investors, the Google investors out here will understand me. If you're talking about their YouTube revenue, they do not break out their full YouTube revenue. The way they actually do it is under the YouTube column, it's specifically YouTube ad revenue. But for users like myself that pay for YouTube Premium, that actually falls under a separate category called subscriptions, devices, and platforms. So to separate out how much money they're actually making fully on YouTube cannot quite, be assumed just based on YouTube ads, nor can it also be inclusive of subscriptions, because that also includes many other things like Gemini and, Google Workspace and all of these other things. So to break it out for SoFi, or to break it out for Coinbase is also kind of hard, but it just goes to show you how much more expensive they are than where SoFi is looking to price. They're trying to beat Coinbase. They're trying to get more of that volume over to their platform. It's definitely worth it for 99% of people. However, if you are an active trader, I'm just going to be honest, and you're looking for the best price on Robinhood, one, you're already getting that through Coinbase via Coinbase One, and you're paying that fee, which, depending on the amount of volume, is probably you're probably already using a platform like that, while getting 0% fees on trading volumes by either paying $30 a month or $300 a month based on how much volume you actually do, or you're already over at Robinhood and you're paying, let's say 0.5 or 0.6% rather than 1%. It's not much of a difference, but it is a difference if you're trading a lot. Okay. Once again, SoFi is trying to go after the 95, 99%, not the 1% extreme active trader in the space. Coinbase for life. Hey, if you transact enough, or if you use a lot of their features, it can be advantageous. But the truth is, and obviously selection, tools, the amount of things that Coinbase has, they obviously have a great selection for like really avid crypto users. But for the average person that's trying to DCA into Ethereum, it's probably not as advantageous to go through Coinbase as it is to go through something like SoFi or Robinhood. Now, last time, if you guys remember, SoFi had crypto before. Okay. It was under what was it called? SoFi Crypto Assets or Alternative Assets LLC. I forget. Someone in the chat will let me know. But now all of their crypto activity is not under that, subsidiary. It's just under the SoFi Bank name because now it's finally legal. So the last time that we did have crypto, the reason why they were told to take crypto away is because they broke one of their promises to the SEC that said that they would not continue to build new products under their crypto name. Then Coinbase came out with a new product that said, which they didn't think was a new product. It was new. It was new pricing. They said, hey, if you DCA Bitcoin or Ethereum on a, I think, weekly, biweekly, or monthly basis, that we will make the trading fees 0% for you, just to allow you to purchase in over time. Okay. That's how we actually ended up losing crypto previously. It was part of the banking regulations that we were not allowed to make any change, and we were supposed to slowly divest away from crypto between 2 years with the potential of 3 individual year-long increases or increments of time that they could delay that amount. If we would have just kept it, we probably wouldn't even have, Trump would have been in office, and then these new deals would have already gotten through, and SoFi probably would have just been able to keep their crypto on their platform. But we changed the game. We put Bitcoin as a free purchase if you DCA, and that actually is what ruined SoFi in the crypto game. So live and learn. But we're back. It does look like, from what we're seeing, it's either going to be in November or December 1st, maybe any day now. It could be as early as tomorrow morning that we end up seeing SoFi crypto. We're seeing all of the agreements come out. We're seeing the fee structures. They're saying they're effective as of November 10th. Okay, so that's right now. Could that mean that they're potentially setting this up for internal users, maybe family and friends, employees only? Who knows? But they're definitely heavy into the beta testing right now, and it's probably going to go live very soon. I think at the latest, it's December 1st. Get on that wait list. I think there's also a potential to win 1 Bitcoin, if I'm am correct, and it's based on if you make a crypto transaction within the first 15 days or 30 days of December 1st. I forget. We'll have to see it. But SoFi should expand to Canada. Actually, you know what's cool is I've always been saying that PayPal should expand more into Canada. Obviously, they are in Canada, and you can set up the normal payments. You can vault your cards on their platform, and you can pay via PayPal checkout, right? Those types of things are already around. But what we ended up seeing today is that they expanded their buy now, pay later solution to Canada. I still don't know if that's going to get me to use it more often. I've been finding myself just using Google Pay for, tap to pay or Google Wallet for tap to pay and all of those features through my Android. And then, Link or Shop Pay or one of those solutions whenever I'm at checkout. I still use PayPal from time to time, but I'm not, seeking out buy now, pay later for PayPal. Maybe if I see it, I'll use it. I don't know. Tim Hortons, by the way. I got a tea. What did I get, actually? What is this? Peppermint tea. It's just black, though. No sugar or cream. Do you know if there's going to be levered crypto products or just buy, sell? From what I'm reading, it's just buy, sell right now. But I appreciate, you calling yourself out there and seeing what we might get. I use PayPal too occasionally. Yeah, so SoFi, I do think one day will come to Canada. Whether or not that's via a 51st state or they actually end up expanding this way, I just don't know if it's going to be any time that we hope is soon. The problem is just the amount of users here in Canada for the amount of different licenses that you need. You essentially need, from what I heard from people in the industry, is that you need essentially one banking license per province. So maybe they just go in and target Ontario to begin with because it's 75% of the population, or but even then, 75% of the population is 30 million people. If I'm not mistaken, you guys have states that are bigger than that, or states that are at least close. How many people are in Texas and California? I just want to check that. Most populous states in US. Texas, 31.8 million. California, 40 million. Yeah, so California alone is Canada. But it is true. And in fact, I've been doing some looking into Nubank because we're about to see their earnings here. And by the way, I love the Nubank team so much. I think their founder might be, and I'm so serious, a top 5 founder of all time. David Velez is everything you want in a founder. Everything. And sorry, where was I going with this? One of the things that he highlighted in a recent podcast was just that whenever you do see monopolies in certain sectors, like what you see in Canada, and I'm pretty sure he even called out Canada, is that, there's 5 big banks and they control it. Luckily, we have one fintech company that is trying to fight back, and they're actually winning over a lot of assets under management. That's Wealthsimple. Hopefully that changes the industry a little bit. What would also change the industry very much is if they actually allowed some American competition to come in, because then it would kick those big banks into high gear to actually offer us some real products. A Robinhood, a SoFi, these types of companies coming north would really kick things into high gear. Cali resident here. Good to see you, Michael. Can you invest in them? I don't think they're a standalone business. I think they're owned by an institution called Power Corp, or they're minority owned by Power Corp. I forget, but yeah. RBC is an amazing bank. No, it's not. You haven't banked here. Clearly, you have not banked here. None of them are good. They're all the exact same. It's exactly like banking in the States. It's like picking between Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Bank of America, or JP Morgan Chase. You walk into the branch, you get treated like crap, you have to pay high fees, and then they make you sign a bunch of paperwork 2 weeks later whenever they say, hey, we're ready for you. It's a terrible experience. They're all bad. Fintech's the way to go. Now they're all trying to build apps and lobby to slow down fintechs while they create those solutions, so then they are competitive. Same thing JP Morgan's doing with crypto and stablecoins and everything. Lobbying like insane amounts to try to slow down stablecoin and crypto adoption and tokenization until they have the teams and they have the structure to create those products to actually fairly compete. But it's not fair. It's not fair at all. It's regulatory capture, and yeah, I don't care for big banks. However, there's one thing that is pretty interesting, and it's another thing that David Velez highlighted in this recent podcast I was listening to, which is that if you go to almost any single country's stock market, some of the biggest companies in the world or in that country, in that stock market, including Canada, all the big stocks aside from Shopify are all banks. They're always financial names. There's so much profit to be made in financial services. It's another reason why I like fintech so much. Although they are bringing down, like one of the ways that they win is just margin compression, right? You know, your margin is my opportunity. There's still so much even after they have cut the costs of trading from $10 a trade down to free commission, payment for order flow. Okay. Let's see. I mean, RBC stock performs well and pays good dividends. Yeah, of course. Of course. Sounds like Tanner is biased against banks. Yes, because I'm a consumer of those banks and they've treated me terribly. You know what sucks? This is the absolute worst. Here in Canada, there are some fintech names because the consumer industry is so big. So even then, there's almost no fintechs here. There's some, you could probably find a handful, but there are none, zero, absolutely zero business banking accounts that are fintech based here in Canada that try to compete on rates. There's been some that have come in, just absolutely got stomped out. It's incredibly bad. It is because of regulation. It's regulation that those big banks have put it in place. There is an amazing speech from Bill Gurley called 2,000 Miles Away from DC or something along those lines. And it talks about how how companies want to be regulated so then they can make their products specifically very hard to replicate, and all their feature sets are the ones that are needed in order to be, regulated for that specific space. So for banks, the big banks are the ones that want to be heavily regulated, so it's extremely hard to enter. It's crazy. Okay. Margin fees are too high through SoFi Invest. This is reportedly coming down a lot. Okay. So I don't know if it'll be as low as the likes of Robinhood, but I mean right there. Like instead of 5.5%, it's somewhere likely 5.75%. Stuff like this. It's not going to be the 10, 8% wherever it is right now. I trade all my crypto on Hood. And if that's the case, I don't think SoFi is going to win over your business because it's still cheaper on Hood and they have a wide selection. But if they do end up putting out products that say, hey, if they do exactly what they did last time, they say DCA into Bitcoin on a weekly, biweekly, or monthly basis, and we'll make the trading fees free. I mean, if you're already banking at SoFi, that's a guarantee. Like, you can't beat free. And SoFi loves it because you're building up a large position and they like winning slowly. So those types of products, I think they will innovate on quickly. I think that they're going to have a SoFi wallet, an external wallet that allows you to essentially have cold storage of your crypto. I think that that's going to allow for transacting to Robinhood or to Coinbase or to SoFi. They're going to almost be very similar in that respect. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about in this live stream was Pagaya. So Pagaya ended up showing off their earnings today, and it was very exciting. I mean, From everything I heard from shareholders, I don't follow this company extremely closely, but I do follow them because of SoFi. This was one of the comments that they had ended up making that I thought was really interesting. We're seeing very strong demand for cross-selling amongst existing partners who want to expand into other asset classes. For example, one of our largest personal loan lenders is now looking into expanding into POS lending or point of sale lending and aims to become a major player in that space. Since we're already embedded in their ecosystem, those discussions are straightforward. We just simply expand alongside them. Another major personal loan lender wants to move into auto lending, while a significant auto partner plans to adopt our personal loan lending program. Cross-selling across asset classes with existing partners is truly becoming a strong value proposition, complementing our efforts of onboarding new partners. Another thing that I read whenever I was listening to the earnings call, just very quickly, was that 30% of their partners are essentially picking multi-asset classes or cross-selling, and those 30% of partners are making up for 60% of their total volume. That's pretty exciting. So Pagaya, ticker symbol PGY, could be on the list for some people that want a more tech solution to potential, lending. So you're not taking that balance sheet risk, and stock's up 12.8%, but at one point it was like up nearly, from from last night's close, up 23% at one point whenever the market opened up. However, sold that off, only up 12.8%, but still 27.58. If you look at this company over the last little bit, and let me just tighten that a little bit, I'm pretty sure it was like way lower than that, was it not? I thought this stock, no, historical low, $6.80. Did they do a reverse split at some point? I thought they were like $2 at one point. Can you guys let me know if that's true? Did they do a reverse split, or am I just misremembering things? But still, April of 2025, they were a $9 stock. Okay. Yeah, they're up almost 200% year to date. Pagaya does the referred loans for SoFi. So if someone comes to SoFi and they have like a FICO score under 680, SoFi still wants to give that person a loan, right? They don't want to essentially say, hey, you're on our platform, but we can't serve you. That's not a good look. So Pagaya comes in as a marketplace of loans and potentially offers that person a loan through other partners and says, hey, SoFi's offering you this loan. But it's not actually SoFi. It's just a white label solution to take that loan away while still servicing them on the SoFi platform. Pretty good idea. Now, the only thing that I think is really interesting, and if SoFi is what we want it to be, okay, if you guys are in the camp of SoFi is going to be $100 one day, this is what has to happen. Or maybe this is $150, $200 strategy. I guess we could get to $100 doing exactly what we're doing today. But this is like the difference between SoFi before the loan platform business to where the SoFi loan platform is now. I think eventually SoFi is going to enter the Pagaya space by saying, hey, we're going to go to other institutions like Robinhood, for example, and say, hey, let us underwrite your loans for you. You can call them, Robinhood loans, whatever, but yet you're not going to take the balance sheet risk. We'll hand that loan off to asset managers and insurance companies and all of the massive amounts of, institutions that SoFi already does loan business with their set of underwriting tools. Okay. The ones that everyone has come to trust in what Anthony Noto has recently called a flight to quality. Those types of activities is exactly what SoFi could do with other institutions. That's how SoFi, and by the way, if you go back and you look at the original presentation of what SoFi was whenever they went public, it says it in the document. It says under Galileo, they said, hey, we're offering payments today, but we want to eventually cross-sell our lending capabilities to the, at the time, Galileo 50 million customers, offer our loan products to 50 million customers. Okay. Could you imagine Galileo eventually, with the technology that SoFi's underwriting team has, if they can eventually automate that, and if you guys remember the job application that we looked at recently, that said that automating loans is what they would eventually need to do in order to 10x the business. That's what that was SoFi's words in their job application. What that means if they essentially go to Ally and Robinhood and Webull and all of these things, and all these companies become financial super apps, but they are also tech companies and don't, well, Ally is not one of them, but a lot of those companies are tech companies and they don't want the balance sheet risk. That's happening. I would bet all my dollars on it. And if Anthony Noto said, Tanner, that's not even on the roadmap, I'd sell my shares. It has to be on the roadmap. It might not be here for 5 years. I'm fully aware the loan platform business and the customers that SoFi is going towards is large enough. But the difference between, 12 to 15 million members, which is where we're going to be throughout 2025 and 2026, to where they could be, which is underwriting loans for 100 million people, that's a huge difference. All right. You guys have covered calls on your SoFi shares. Today was the day. Today was the day to write some covered calls. Now, I still believe that they are going to be valued more than where they are today. So you need to lower that delta, or at least that's my strategy. Lower the delta and go far out to try to collect premiums that way. And for me, only 2 weeks out, Tanner got me on that chai and Timbit quest. Where are you getting Timbits, Matt? I don't really like chai tea. Tomorrow I'll be selling covered calls. If we're nice and green, that would be nice. I'm not very good at selling covered calls. So I also like to put a little disclaimer on some of the things that I say. I'm also very new to this. I do it very, very low risk, and I am essentially collecting a very small premium on companies that I think are near their highs. No, I said chai tea, not chai or tea. Chai tea. Well, I know chai. Okay, I'm fully aware that chai means tea. Okay, I get it, but it's still called chai tea. I don't. Yeah, I'm ordering chai tea. Nope. I know it means tea. That you guys didn't get me on a. Would you say TT? No, but what's another version of this? This happens all the time where someone says like an abbreviation and then says something that's in that abbreviation. Too bad. I'm going to say you guys can't change my mind. La 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 la. Thank you. And you know what? There was 20 comments that said no, 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 and I picked the one that said I was right. My show. That's funny. When do you think SoFi will conquer $75 a share? I don't know. 2027. But isn't non-bread just bread? Isn't that another one? And I will say non-bread. I don't care. That was another great example, BD. Thank you. I'm pretty sure it's bread. Um, it's Tanner's world and we live in it. I got a $31 strike for November 28th on SoFi. Well, I kind of helped you out today. We were headed for $31. I kicked it away. What are the best Timbits? There's what is it? The sour cream ones? I know it sounds disgusting. It's so good. But I mean, you can't go wrong with chocolate. Some people is a love or hate with the jelly filled ones. But yeah. Non-bread chai tea Tanner. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sour cream glazed. That's what it is. It's so good. It's the best one. Tanner, you still didn't explain why SoFi is one of the best performers today. Let's talk about it. Well, I do think that it's Pagaya, really. Pagaya ended up showing up or showing really great performance, and Q4 also looked good. Their guidance was really good. I think people got excited about that. However, a lot of their growth was in the auto section, not as much on the personal loan side. But it was that and the government shutdown that took the cake. What kind of keto is this? I'm not on keto, guys. I don't know what to tell you. The same people that say currently right now kind of like chai tea. Well, yeah, I'm not anti currently right now. I love currently right now. Non-bread is not a real terminology in Indian culture. I am not a part of Indian culture. I'm eating Indian food in Canadian culture. I call it non-bread. You know? You're like, hey, if you came to India, that wouldn't be acceptable. I'll call it non when I'm in India. Also, you know what I love? I love going to the actual places and um, getting authentic food. I always find it incredibly different than when it is here. Like if I go to an Indian restaurant here versus actually going to India, I'm sure it's so different. I just haven't experienced it specifically in India. But yeah. Tanner, you're the whitest person I know. Okay, I'm telling you guys, the camera does me so dirty. It's the lights in here or something. That's not any better. But whenever people meet me in person, they're not like, "Oh wow, you're so much paler than you are on stream." You know? I'm not ginger. Okay, guys, I said we were going to stick into stocks. You guys are throwing me off here. Let's continue. Okay. Where do we want to go? Oh, let's quickly take a detour into Tesla. Now, this was going to happen. Whoever didn't think this was going to happen, crazy. Wells Fargo says October delivery data for Tesla shows weakness. Of course. One, the amount of pulled forward demand, people who are looking that might have been on the fence for purchasing, with those government subsidies to essentially take $7,500 off is, a reason to purchase. So you had a lot of pulled forward demand in September or in, well, I guess the last 3 months, roughly. If we remember the Q2 call, it was essentially a sales for Tesla vehicles. So there will be some level of pull forward. Now, I don't think that Q4 coming out and showing not great sales data on Tesla is going to change the narrative at all. I mean, is anyone buying Tesla right now for the Q4 sales data? I don't know if that's true. It's just, what does this look like throughout Q1 to Q4 for Tesla of 2026? Obviously, Robotaxi and Optimus, and there's so many reasons to love Tesla, right? Even without car sales. But car sales are going to help accelerate how much money that they essentially have to then ramp up, Optimus or Robotaxi. The amount of cars on the road is going to affect how many Robotaxis there are if they can flip on this sort of Airbnb or Turo of Robotaxi. So that will be important. I added on the continued Axon dip today. That's why you want me to talk about it. I talked about Axon and it was a bloodbath in the comments. I had to literally stop. I had to stop talking about it. You guys do not love that company. Is it the valuation for Axon that makes people angry, or is it the types of products, sort of worried about Big Brother or something like this? Maybe there's Mamdani fears that for real, New York as a large customer is just going to not use Axon anymore. Coinbase went from $30 to $300 in 1.5 years. SoFi can do the same. I think the problem is, and the reason why you're not going to see the types of movements like you do for Coinbase, like there are sometimes companies like Upstart or Pagaya where whenever you see a ramp in momentum for, let's say, personal loans, it might be 100% of their revenue. So if that industry doubles, their personal loan volume doubles, which essentially doubles those companies. Coinbase, you ended up seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these companies or all these coins run, which affected 100% of Coinbase's revenue. So if you end up seeing that double, triple, quadruple, 5x, that's what you're seeing company-wide. The reason why SoFi is not going to go from 30 to 300 based on crypto, because they now have crypto, is because it's going to make up for such a small percentage of their overall revenue. They have 12.6 million members, but what percentage of those are even SoFi Invest users? What percentage of that percent is signed up for SoFi crypto? And then how impactful is it from a revenue perspective? So it's all proportionate. Google is going to benefit from Waymo and this advent of, the Robotaxi change, like a big boom. At the end of the day, though, if it's not bringing in 10, 20, 30 billion dollars a quarter, no one's going to care. Obviously, people will start giving a premium to Google before we end up hitting those numbers. But currently, right now, what we're hoping for Google is that they just make a dent. And that's what you're going to hopefully see from SoFi as well, is that crypto ends up making, hopefully doubles the average revenue per customer on SoFi. If it doubles average revenue per SoFi Invest customer. But even that number is extremely low right now. I can actually bring that up for you guys if you guys would like to see. I think I have a chart on this, which it took a big step up this quarter. Bear with me. The chart guy is doing chart things. Okay. On the brokerage side, we ended up bringing in $12 million on SoFi. Okay. Let me just bring up this font really quick. So the visually impaired still are joining us on this journey. Okay, great. There. Okay, cool. And let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. This is the brokerage revenue that SoFi has been seeing lately. As of the last couple quarters, we ended up seeing brokerage at 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, 7.5 million, 12.2 million. Big brokerage quarter. I mean, we even saw it from Robinhood as well. So a lot of users are using SoFi's platform, and average revenue per invest account went up to $4. $4. However, whenever you compare that to Robinhood, I think they were at $190 per customer. Even on a quarterly basis, that's, 40, like 40 something. No, what is it? 45? 47? $47. It's about 1/12 of the size of Robinhood's. Okay. So very, very different. $12 million on brokerage versus what Robinhood brings in of 1.2 billion. Big, big difference. And the difference there is not crypto. Okay. Robinhood brought in like $80 million from equities alone. So if crypto doubles this, it's great. It brings in an extra $12 million a quarter. That I'm not fighting. Okay. But at the end of the day, SoFi ended up bringing in, $960 million, $950 million of revenue. So big difference. 950, they bring on crypto. It doubles the brokerage business. Doubles. We go from 950 to 962. That's not going to be the same as a Coinbase move from 30 to 60. It's still great. All the additions to the platform are amazing. And if it triples it, great. We bring on an additional $24 million. But yeah. Just found a bug in Robinhood's reporting. I reported it. Have to say that the customer support does not seem to be interested in taking details and reporting it to developers. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be something that happens just as the size gets so large. But I'm not a Debbie Downer. I'm just being honest about what crypto does to SoFi. I saw a lot of people message me and they were like, SoFi's going up because of crypto. No, it's not. No, it will be good as they bring out more and more crypto products. But I promise you guys, the tokenization of loans is going to be a way bigger product than buy, sell crypto. Stablecoins is going to be so big for SoFi because payments, they're going to be a really big player in that, not just for SoFi, but for Galileo as well. That's going to be huge. Buy, sell crypto is going to be good. And it's going to add on more users, and people aren't going to leave to other platforms because SoFi now has crypto. But yeah. But could also give new membership a boost. Yeah. And then if someone does come to SoFi for buy, sell crypto, and then they end up getting a personal loan or something like this, I mean, that is insane. It's just they are going to have much more granular data on that than what. But crypto is going to do a lot more for us than just the revenue that is shown on the brokerage, revenue line. So I'm super happy for it. No way. Did I punch my mic into a mute? Okay, I'm back. I punch muted my mic. Great. Good. Can you explain how SoFi will benefit from tokenization of loans? So what I think that it is going to enable is a new customer that potentially can buy loans from SoFi. So right now they go out and they acquire loans from customers, and then they go and sell them wholesale to massive institutions, asset managers, insurance company, like whatever. Any customer that's looking for fixed income. The only customer that they're not really selling this to is any form of consumer. A tokenized version of a loan might allow you to buy fractionalized versions of loans, which also allow for more transparency of those loans. Like instead of waiting 3 months, you can end up seeing the quality of SoFi's loans. And also, you'll see the quality difference whenever you compare them to other institutions as well. So if there's a flight to quality, you'll see that in real time on a tokenized, essentially, book of loans, right? You'll see who's paying and who's not paying very, very quickly. But yeah, you'll be able to buy $1 worth of a book of a loan for fixed income, rather than tens of thousands of dollars, which is usually the case whenever you're looking into something like private credit. Can we get back to chai tea, please? Okay. I'm here. Can we repeat the whole show, please? No. You literally can. You just got to scroll back a little bit. Vasil is in chat. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm doing great. Honestly, you see a day like today, it's hard for me to complain. NVIDIA is nearly back above $200 a share. In after hours right now, we're $199.93. Guys, I have to fight off. I'm like Khabib Nurmagomedov. I didn't pronounce that right. I'm not going to try to pronounce it even slower. That's going to make me look dumber. Nurmagomedov. I'll just say that. I'm fighting bears out here. Okay, that's what I'm trying to highlight to you guys. That's how important this is. And NVIDIA has gone through a roller coaster of pricing. Now, I am a TA guy. You guys know this. So this is the classic cat ears into tail thing here. So expect the tail to get longer. I'm kidding. I don't know anything. But yeah, we've gone through a wild ride here, crashing down from, $212 all the way down to $188. And I'm sure from a granular perspective, if I were to look into those individual days, it was even lower than that, $178 yesterday. That's crazy. It does not feel like that was, Friday, November 7th, we got down to $178. So, thank you. But, just a very happy camper that NVIDIA is headed back up. Obviously, that wafer announcement, which I had a bunch of people messaging me saying that's not a good sign. Whenever you see them asking their suppliers to ramp up, that's actually like a sign that they're panicking. I was like, what are you talking about? They're just getting a lot of How are they supposed to ask for more supply? How did they go to their suppliers and say, hey, we have more demand than what was previously expected without scaring investors? Like, what are you talking about? Open Door. Open Door. Open Door is up another 5% in after hours after being up 21.5% on the day. We can talk about why they're up in the after hours. It was from a nice little, where is it? Right here. Kaz, the CEO of Open Door, said, I will talk about Open Door's product frequently and its stock rarely. That's because my job is to build product and the company, and that will have good secondary outcomes. Tomorrow is the first day I'm allowed to buy Open, and my family is buying $1 million at the Open. I mean, you're not doing them a service by making them pay more. If I was part of his family, I'd be like, man, come on, can you wait a little bit? But also, um, I don't think that you should be talking about this like talk about the stock never. Talk about the product, you know? Um, closed door. No, no, no. It's open door at the open. Okay. Bro's doing technical analysis on a line chart. It's easier to visualize the cat that way. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. I really like build like product focused builders that are wanting to build cool new products. Vlad is through and through, he's a product guy. Kaz is a product guy. And it's true, I don't know where the product is going, and it's hard for me to visualize it. So I'm not buying right now. But the real estate market is incredibly huge. And if he does something insane and completely mixes up the industry, I would love to be a part of it. But right now, I don't foresee that happening. So, yeah. Thoughts on Michael Burry's AI bubble thesis? He's right about the what's it called? Like the how long that they depreciate their chips can be quite interesting. If you look at the difference in CoreWeave's depreciation versus Nebius's depreciation, it's quite different. That said, I also think that he is going to look to every single red or yellow flag to potentially talk about where this bubble is going, and can completely miss the idea that we're still just growing at 50+% CAGRs and sales solves all, right? You find more buyers for your products, you can get rid of those yellow flags pretty quickly. So, yeah, I think the valuation on Nvidia here is, I won't say cheap. I'm not actively buying right here, but I still hold over 40% of my portfolio in Nvidia. So, to his entire AI bubble thesis, I think he picked the two worst names that you could possibly look at to try to have any sort of bad commentary around Palantir or Nvidia. I think they're, some of the strongest names in the entire industry. But like I do think there is an AI bubble. I just don't think it's in public markets. I think there's a huge AI bubble in private markets. Because it's a bunch of companies that are making these white label solutions on top of, ChatGPT and Anthropic and Gemini, and they're calling them AI projects. And, 2 months, maybe not 2 months from now, a year from now, you'll just be able to do all of those things directly on ChatGPT. I think, what was it? Gemma? I think it was Gemma. Just got a $2 billion valuation for their, presentation, AI presentation builder to compete with PowerPoint and this and these sort of products. Canva's going to open up this exact same thing. ChatGPT is going to be opening up this exact same thing. Drop your file in, create an entire presentation. Gamma. Okay. I don't use it. But yeah. All my presentations, you guys can clearly tell, based on the lack of quality, are just built by me. Me, my mouse, and my computer. Powered by NVIDIA. I don't even remember what the chip is called. 5080? There you go. RTX 5080. There we go. I got there. Sometimes the only winning move is not to play. Michael Burry proceeds to play options. I love your presentations. They're solid. Yeah, I mean, I just put screenshots in there. Keep it. You know what? Forget all the fancy images and colors. And you guys will probably know this. If you guys go back, you'll see I paid one time. One time I paid for my presentation to be made. And I think it actually performed the worst. Never happened again. It's all screenshots and tweets from here on out. Okay. Tanner, the depreciation schedule expansion is because the shift away from training into inference, which has much less strain on chips. That's interesting. I like that. Didn't the schedule on Amazon actually go down year over year? From 6 down to 5 years? Regardless, I mean, I'm actually happier that way that, they're being more conservative. Michael, you nasty. We can't live without the chart standard. Oh, yeah. Lots of charts. Also, can't wait for Gemini to be like actually in Google Sheets. Right now, they're kind of toying with me. They're playing a little bit. Microsoft seems to be getting there a little bit faster. I'm happy to pay, okay? But I want really good products inside Google Sheets. It's slowly coming. It's slowly coming where AI is starting to be built into the tools that I'm already using today. But there's still a little bit of frustration. We're still finding out that LLMs don't even know my name. Grok, talking to you specifically. But it's happening. I continue to be very, very bullish on artificial intelligence. Okay. Let's quickly look at this right here as Juan Rodriguez has also updated his latest week. Robinhood just had another strong week of sports events contracts. At least 505 million contracts traded, second highest week ever, at least $5 million in revenue. A few things I found very interesting. NBA had over 140 million contracts traded. And given the season just started, it will likely be the most traded sport on the platform in the coming year. That's insane. College basketball is off to a good start with over 18 million contracts traded in the first week. And both soccer and tennis continue to contribute significantly when available. It will be great if Robinhood offered more events for these sports in 2026. After seeing a monthly record volume in October, Hood does not seem to be stopping anytime soon. Wow. Wow. Another great highlight from Juan there. Okay. If you haven't editing around on the new Meta Quest, you won't understand. Okay. Tanner's about to go on a 3-minute mile. What are you guys talking about? Many inference heavy workloads are on 6 to 8-year-old GPUs. I don't have any thoughts on Poet. My understanding was that they were paying influencers to talk about their stock. I don't legit. I find that to be like a disgusting business practice. It should not even be legal. Okay. Like, for real, how's that any different from like insider trading or something like this? Okay. You talk about ETH or BMNR? Both. Yes, I did. CoreWeave, Nebius, Iren, any interest here? Some interest in CoreWeave and Nebius, not much on Iren, but I just continue to play the industry through NVIDIA mainly. Tomorrow is AMD's Investor Day, if I'm not mistaken. That will be quite interesting. I do want to listen to it. However, I don't think I'm going to stream it because we also, if I'm not mistaken, it falls under the SoFi SoFi presentation. They're doing a fireside chat that I want to be live for. I'm aware it's going to be much shorter, but I just think that you guys know me much more for the SoFi content. Okay. Vlad just said there was a time when you couldn't trade stocks on your phone. Imagine explaining to someone in 2035 that back in 2025 markets closed on weekdays and holidays. It's true. Yeah, the fact that you would have to pay like potentially like $100 or $50 to call up your broker to make a purchase over the phone is crazy. Now we have some pretty amazing products, and it's going to look amazing going forward. Hopefully built on Ethereum. What time is the SoFi fireside chat? That's a great question. Let me just bring up my schedule and I'll let you know. And this is not where I find my schedule. It is tomorrow at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 24-hour markets would not be a good idea. Why? Why? We have 24-hour markets now. I think that this would actually, encourage people to invest longer because they obviously can't watch the volatility of the market 24/7. Like it'll just drive you crazy. So, you will have a break, but then whenever you do want to play in markets, it'll be at any point that you want to. You won't need to structure your life around trading or investing or buying those dips. You can just, buy them when you want to. Essentially, we have 24/7 markets right now. If like I'm aware there's not a lot of volume on overnight markets, but if you want to be able to buy the dip, maybe you can't get all the shares you want. But if you want to be able to buy the dip at a certain moment, whenever after hours moments, let's say there's a quick piece of fake news that says that Jensen Huang is leaving NVIDIA or something crazy like this. The stock goes down 10% in 24-hour markets. You could still buy that dip. You could do that today. So is it not prudent for you to be watching the markets at all times right now? And of course you're not going to because you have a life outside of trading. So I think that this pushes people more towards investing and realizing that you can't watch the markets 24/7. Crypto markets right now, I'm still an investor in Ethereum. I'm still an investor in Bitcoin. The markets are open 24/7 for crypto. It works fine. No, we don't want, yes, you're right. We don't have 24/7 now. We have 24/5. But maybe that's when you guys are getting your sleep, is on Saturday and Sunday. Not everyone can keep themselves from watching. Some people don't have lives outside of trading. I mean, good for them. Because someone can't drive their car, I don't want us to lower the speed limit down to 20 kilometers or 20 miles an hour. I mean, sometimes the world has to go past these people that can't control themselves as adults. Take a therapy class. Okay. I want to trade 24/7. The rest of the world wants to take 24/7 things. Other people need to go to yoga. Those people need to find ways. Casinos are open all the time. Some people have gambling addictions. Those people need to stop showing up. Take a therapy class. To a therapy session. Sometimes I always see this where they're like, hey guys, we all can't go based on the slowest person. Like, then that person needs to take an Uber. You know, I'm in the left lane. I'm trying to pass. Okay. I need shower trades. Yep. Yeah. Wake up trade, go to bed trade. I don't know. Crypto markets seem to be functioning fine. That's all I'm saying. There should be volatility when news appears, right? And it's not like the markets are any better right now. It's not like, oh, well, I can get ready to get into trades at the price that I want whenever the market opens. No, you can't. Like, if the price is at 30 and then Anthony Noto secures a $20 billion loan platform deal tomorrow, you don't get to buy it at 20 or 30 before the market opens. The market's going to just open at $36, $38. Like, it's just going to immediately skyrocket, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not like it's much better now anyway. It just forces all of the volume into a 30-minute period. This is my therapy. I probably was a little bit more therapeutic whenever the markets were going down, and I had to be like, all right, USA. And I'm, we're all taking deep breaths together, and I'm doing more of a calming class. And I didn't mind being your guys' yogi during that period, I'm walking around the class. You guys are getting your mats out. I'm holding the incense. We're burning incense, and I'm just getting everyone to just in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's continue to hold our shares and buy great companies. When stocks are going up, and I'm like, hey, I mean, prediction markets are a good product. Everyone's like, are you kidding me? They're killing people. I don't know. Both could be true. I just look for companies that are appreciating revenue, and I like better, more transparent, lower cost products. And I think that 24/7 markets offer that. And I think Robinhood will be a big part of that. That's it. I heard Tanner only wears Lulus, I hear. No. Lulus and Levi's. Those are the pant choices. And then this is actually a Lululemon shirt. Actually, funnily enough. But it's the greatest shirt of all time. And we have it. Okay, FanDuel and DraftKings just spent a fortune trying to win market share. They're about to lobby hard against prediction markets. Well, it sounds like they're also acquiring. Didn't DraftKings just acquire or in the process of acquiring a prediction markets business? You're looking great, Tanner. Love the haircut. This haircut's a little old, but I'm going to rock it for a bit. Not a big fan of getting my haircut, to be honest. If you guys can't tell, I mean, you guys are right. Look at the complexion of my skin. I don't really like leaving the house all that much. Where I get most of my suntan is from the blue light from my screens that's burning my retinas and the rest of my skin. And that's what allows me to get some of my color. And I've got enough monitors and lights around me. I mean, it's working wonders. But having to get my haircut done, I mean, NVIDIA's up, but it's not like I'm calling someone out to get my haircut every time. Too bougie for me. Maybe one day. You guys want to know something? I had long hair. Long hair before. Yes, I do take vitamin D. Right now, it's about 2,000 IUs, but it's going to go up to 3,000 as the winter begins. Or maybe it's 2,250, depending on what is in the... So I take a multivitamin, and then I take an additional 1,000. But I had really long hair before. You're weird for not going outside. Yeah, but you can't have both. You can't be like, hey, Tanner, you should go touch grass, but also I want all the charts that you give us every day. You know, pick your poison. I stay inside so you guys can go touch grass, and then you can come home, spend 30 minutes with me. You get all the charts that you need. You go about your business. It's like vitamin C. It's vitamin charts, but the only way that I do that, you can't do it outside. Can't bring my NVIDIA 5080 onto the grass. Grow the grass indoors. I swear, this is one of the, I've never wanted a lot of material things. However, I've always wanted a living wall, like a big moss wall. You guys will know I've sold some of my NVIDIA shares whenever you see a big, stupid looking moss wall in my house that obviously I can't take care of. I can't keep a house plant alive. That's fake. This thing is fake. Okay. So someone else has to take care of that living wall. But boy, oh boy, do I want a big moss wall in my house. Show the hair. I'm not going to show the long hair. No. That, what is it? Your birthday? No way. I'm not giving you a gift like that for you to use against me. We like chart Tanner better than we like outdoor Tanner. No, exactly. K2 helps with vitamin D absorption. How much K2 does this thing have? It literally might not. I don't know. Vitamin K2, 120. Is that micrograms? MCG? 200% of my recommended daily dosage. I wouldn't go outside either if I lived in Canada. Dude, it's been snowing. We've got snow on the ground. I don't know if it's on the ground anymore, but it was snowing. Look at all you guys just naming all your favorite vitamins. You guys are like, hey, why do you guys talk about health? You guys are the weird ones. Show the long, yeah, oh, buddy. NVIDIA is up 6% today and another 1.25% in the after hours. Oh, it's also running right now. Wait a second. What's happening right now? Did we get news? It's up like a lot right now. TSMC is accelerating its 2 nanometer build out in Arizona and acquiring more land near its current site for 2 nanometer production per Taiwan media. Apple has already reserved more than half of TSMC's 2 nanometer capacity for 2026, continuing its strategy for locking up most advanced node early. Other chip makers are also now pushing to secure backup plans for demand for 2 nanometer outstrip supply. That's probably not all of it. If that is it, I mean, good on you, but we're up on the day a lot for NVIDIA. Currently up 7.5%. You think that I'm showing you my old hair for $5? Sorry, that joke got extended. I wanted to get that joke out really quickly, but I actually started to get concerned. I was, or not concerned, but curious to why we're seeing a pump on NVIDIA shares. By the way, pushing above 200, 201.46. Okay. Tanner, why are you scared to give us your take on Sezzle? I'm not scared. I just have nothing to say about Sezzle. It's not even a name that I've like remotely looked into. How about Nubank? Oh, I'm loving Nubank. I am loving Nubank. Yeah, I mean, markets are looking good overall. Let's pull up the SPY and the triple Qs. SPY's up 0.1%. NASDAQ is up 0.2%. So that's good. Okay. NVIDIA back to 200. I sold at 202. Well, hopefully you bought back in at 178. Sorry, what was this? I managed to chat with the CEO of Instagram. She answered me. I wanted to ask her to come on your show or a Mitch show. Well, let me know. I'd love to talk some Instagram. Tanner, have you watered your grass? There's snow out. There's no more watering grass. I'm past the point of cutting and watering grass. Oh, sorry. Wait, you chatted with the CEO of Nubank on Instagram with David Velez. That's somebody I very much would like to talk to. That's crazy. Oh, Christina. Oh, yeah. That would be an amazing one. Gosh. I'll send you a message on Twitter. Sounds good. Thank you. You need to change your profile picture. What's wrong with my profile picture? I'm going to be like one of those old people where, I'm fully bald and, but my picture is still me, like in my early 20s when I was like just entering the workforce. No, I just don't care enough to take photos of myself. For someone that is in front of the camera all day, every day, boy, do I hate whenever cameras come out. Like, my girlfriend has been just dying to take photos with me, and she's going to have to wait a lot longer. Sorry, babe. Okay. You look like you have small shoulders in your profile picture. Relax. I care about Bitcoin. Why? What's going on with Bitcoin? Oh, 106.8. Yeah, I guess I don't care. I faked my reaction to that. Ethereum, though, 3620. Okay. Is Mumu better than TradingView? Well, I don't really think that they compete. If you're talking about like a platform to actually look at those charts, I'm sure TradingView is beating Mumu. I only use Mumu just because of the color contrast. I don't even trade or have any money on Mumu. But it is a good app for the stream. I was right. ETH max. I literally hold Bitcoin. It's just, it's not pushing 120 right now, so I don't care. Are you invested in any eVTOL companies? Not yet. I think, if I was smart, I would buy early and then, as they commercialize, then take advantage of that. But I have not made any bets on any eVTOL names. But, one day. Okay. If you could pick one stock you're most bullish on, what would it be, and price prediction and why? That's a big question. For what timeline? I mean, I think that to appropriately answer this question, I'm most bullish on NVIDIA. It's the name that I have the highest amount of conviction on. Price prediction, I think that, we will eventually see $10 trillion on Bitcoin in, maybe the next 3 to 4 years. If the AI market is going to do what I think it's going to do, which is just, compute continues to scale. Every company becomes an AI company. New products get developed that could not have been built without artificial intelligence. New sectors get created. Yeah. 10 trillion on NVIDIA, not Bitcoin. 10 trillion on NVIDIA. NVIDIA, ladies and gentlemen, NVIDIA. Sorry, I did this last time where you guys were like, what are your top 3 holdings? And I said, NVIDIA, Shopify, and Tesla. And then everyone was like, Tesla, what? Tesla? And I was like, why are you guys spelling out Tesla? I'm like, no, I don't hold Tesla. No, yeah, sometimes I'm a little loose with the tongue, if that's the saying. I would like a nice drone company, but maybe that drone company is Axon. Who knows? I sold Tesla for even more NVIDIA. It's true. Double down on my biggest name. I sold my second biggest name to put it all into my biggest name. Nice Harry Potter glasses, nerd. These are not Harry Potter glasses. He would never rock a frame this big. Also, huge fan of Harry Potter. Happy to take that on. Anduril have any drones? Anduril is a drone company. That's how they the Anduril Anvil, I think, was the first one, which was all about drone defense. They created a drone that would fly at other drones and take them out by smashing into them. But yeah. Yeah, I mean they're expanding. I'm not suggesting they're not. They've got other products, but the drone company is how we got there. Lord of the Rings is greater than Harry Potter. Ban that guy. And actually unban that guy. Unban him. You might be right. I mean, I like them both. I'm not picking one or the other. I'm a Harry Potter guy, but I like Lord of the Rings a lot too. Let's not make this into like a Clerks 2 scene where it's just like Lord of the Rings versus Harry Potter nerds. Both. Okay, get that guy. Get that guy. For real, get that guy. Can't ban him. He's paying $5 a month. Nah. All right, leave him alone. Tanner, what's your daily schedule like? I don't. I watch the markets. I get up. Try to shower. No, I don't know. I just try to read and do as much as I can to learn more about the markets, and then spend time with my girlfriend, take care of the house, go live, make videos, workout, sauna, bed. Um, I I currently do work out at night. I'm fully aware it's not optimal, but it's when I have a good amount of time. Tanner's a house husband. Both uh me and my girlfriend both work from home. So we're both just house people. Uh Thanks Tanner for the content even though you get no grass because of it. Any more news on Shift 4? Um, no real news on Shift 4. I mean, it still remains probably one of the cheapest company. You know what I've been thinking about recently? This is honestly what I've been thinking. And I'm almost certain on it. At these types of prices, Shift 4 has to be an acquisition target. I mean, I think a massive company is going to scoop up Shift 4. So if it stays down in the 60s, I think prices at around 120, 140 will start to come out again for more acquisitions of this name. Whether or not they turn it down, though, that's going to be the question. So what brought up Shift 4 last time is that they got an acquisition target for around $130, and then they turned it down, and then analysts just went berserk. They just increased their price targets all the way to 130. They're like, if Jared Isaacman's not taking a $130 bid, then that must mean that that's where it's worth. If it, like, honestly, the longer that you watch Wall Street analysts, you just realize that they're a bunch of guys and gals. But I just mean like they're just people, you know? Very few of them do actual due diligence, and it's just hilarious. But I do think Shift 4 is going to be a massive acquisition target over the next few years. I remain a happy investor. What's better than that? Just guys being dudes. Yeah. One of the best memes of all time. I love that so much. If you anyone that knows exactly what I'm talking about, you just laughed in your head. It's the greatest clip of all time. When does the Santa Claus rally start? It could have started today. It very well could have. Dan Dolev is not taking strays. No. No, he's not. No, his team does good work. I can't show that clip, unfortunately. Okay. I just made it. Oh, wait. What position are you talking about here? Let me try to find it. Oh, you made Shift 4 your second biggest position. I don't like, I think it could be some time similar with PayPal, right? Like PayPal might be undervalued. But it can take a long time for these types of companies to reprice. I don't think that the turnaround, quote unquote, turnaround play for Shift 4 is something that happens overnight. There is such a problem with the pricing of the company. That could be a while. Okay. Santa Claus rally started today. Tanner, how big of a donation would you need to change your name to Tanner with an ER, aka the correct spelling? This guy has not said a productive thing in chat for a while now. He's just gone full troll mode. Okay. I've just been putting up with it. Okay, let's see. What a peaceful, balanced life, says Rachel. Yeah, I mean, I find it very hard to I don't know. It's my only life. I'm going to live it how I see fit. I could not imagine going to work every day and not liking what I do. Very, very fortunate that you guys have put me in this position to allow me to do exactly what I love to do, which is talk, philosophize about where I think things are going to go into the future, and get to bet on predicting those markets. And investing has been my favorite hobby in my entire life. And then talking about that allows me to do better research for my own portfolio. So even whenever it was just, very, very little viewers and it was me and my portfolio, I still needed to work harder to do that own due diligence for myself. Now that there is a bunch of viewers, thank you. I'm extremely grateful. And it makes for a very fun shows every single day. Are you from Toronto? I am from Toronto. Get a NVIDIA tattoo for the gains. No, I'm a. You won't see me with a tattoo, but if I could pick one, NVIDIA would definitely be up there. Bro said, thanks for letting me work from home. I mean it. I mean it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've gotten a little off course. However, did you know that there is a deal that is now finalizing for the UCLA football to have its home games in SoFi Stadium? Maybe this is something to get more eyes on SoFi. I heard a lot of fans are very, very angry about this, but is it good for SoFi Stadium? Who knows? Let's see what else. Base, which is Coinbase's L2 on Ethereum, just processed 15.4 million transactions yesterday. The new record, which it's now seeing, quickly becoming one of the, most popular L2 blockchains out there, which is absolutely beneficial to something like Ethereum as well. Robinhood. Let's take a look here. Robinhood is working on a way for everyday investors to get exposure to private AI startups. The plan is to offer a tradable fund via Robinhood Ventures that would hold a small group of best-in-class private AI companies and could use leverage. This would let retail investors invest in names that have mostly been limited to VCs and institutions, but the fund would be closed-end, meaning money could be locked up and losses could go to zero. Yes. I think that's quite interesting. I'm really interested to see what Robinhood does with Robinhood Ventures going forward. Obviously, getting into more private equity names. Now, I don't like the idea of these funds, though. I just wish that they almost made ETFs of individual names. Just make an Anduril fund, make a SpaceX fund, make a Databricks fund. Let me decide what I want to invest in. OpenAI, yeah. These AI-themed ETFs, I mean, maybe they're cool, but I don't know. What is SoFi's AI? SoFi's agentic AI ETF has set, these are such a waste of time for them and such a money loser. It's actually hilarious. It started back on September 3rd. It's up 17.4%, which is great. Assets under management, 9.7 million. They're losing money on this ETF. I guarantee it. And yeah. What's the MERs on it, by the way? I don't see it here. It's probably like 0.7% or something. Okay. I don't follow Oscar. I apologize. Tanner's the type of guy to put lotion all over his entire body. Absolutely not. You got me wrong. I don't use any lotion. Come on now. No. PM&R now holds 2.9% of ETH and 3.5 million tokens. Yes, T. Nelly. You guys can go back to the beginning of the stream whenever we had a big conversation about this and Ethereum. Ashy Tanner, I don't care. I'm so pale, you guys wouldn't even see it anyway. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Really do appreciate your time. I'm going to be back on at 9:30 to talk about Robinhood earnings and many other things with the likes of Roy and Amit. Really do appreciate your time. But bye for now.